Hi, Anita. Good evening.
Hey,
Hi, Aisha. Hi, Ga Gawan. I hope I got that correct. Hello, Kemi. Good evening, Anita. Nice to have you.
oh, thanks for having me.
How are you doing today?
I'm pretty good. It's Friday, so
Yeah, thank God
yeah.
it's Friday.
Yeah. How are you doing today?
I'm very well, thank you. Yeah, okay, it's now your 6. Let's just give it a couple more minutes for people to join.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah. Hi, Kemi, Aisha. Do you want to put up your video and just say hello to Anita? Hi, Harry.
Hi, Anita. How you doing today?
Hi, everyone. I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. Thank you.
We're so excited to have you here and hear your story.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm honored you guys thought it was worth me to talk about. Oh, I see a familiar face. Hey, Tracy.
Hi, Anita. How's it going?
Good, good. How are you?
I'm getting there. I want to hear what you have to say today. I wasn't sure what the right time. I had to convert the time. It says ADT. I'm like, what time is ADT?
I don't know. It might be a repeat of stuff I have normally said in the past. I'm just talking about my transition into a Salesforce business analyst.
Mm-hmm. I suppose it's going well.
Yeah, pretty good so far.
Yeah.
No complaints. Very happy from coming from a hospitality background to doing this. Work is a lot easier and work-life balance is much better.
Yeah.
Hi, Tracy.
Hello.
I'm Oge. Nice to have you here this evening.
Hello.
Another familiar face. Hey, Ben.
Which Ben is that?
Ben Roberts.
Okay, I know that one. There are lots of people. You're still in Houston, though, right? Anita?
Yeah. I'm still in Houston. I was traveling for all last week, but I'm back.
Yeah.
I would have much rather just been on vacation for the whole year.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
I haven't got to travel much.
You're in Dallas or outside of Dallas,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah, a little north, but close enough. Close enough to count.
Yep.
Close enough. I'm gonna light going.
Hey, Anita, sorry I didn't say hi earlier. I was running over to set my phone down.
No worries. How are you doing today?
Living the dream.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Oge, and I'll be your host for this evening. We have Anita joining us. We'll just hold for 3 more minutes to allow more people join, because this is about end of work time in Halifax, and people are kind of still, maybe for those that commute or those kind of wrapping up from work. Let's just give them 5 minutes. We'll start at 6:05 Halifax time.
Hey, Blessing.
Hello, good evening.
How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Hi, Jibs. Do you guys want to say hello to Anita? Can you put on your video if you can? Hi,
Hello, Anita. How you doing?
Hey, Harry. I want to be wherever you are right now. On the beach.
I'm having fun here.
Yeah.
Great to meet you. Thanks
Very
for
nice.
coming.
Very nice to meet you too. Thanks for having me.
Hi, Islamia. Good evening.
Hi, good evening, Oge.
Oh.
Good evening, Tracy. Good evening, Anita.
Hello,
Nice to
Islamia.
meet you. Thank you.
Yeah. Hi, Seda. Hi, Jubola.
Hello.
Anita,
Hey,
how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? Happy Friday.
Good. Nice meeting you.
Very nice meeting you too.
Hi, Ash. Do you want to say hello? Are you still at work? I know sometimes she might still be at work at this time. Yeah. Just to know how excited people are to come listen to you today.
Aw,
Yeah.
thanks, guys.
Yeah, for those of you, for people that are online, yeah. So I met Anita during this just concluded Spring Salesforce Business Analyst Summit. I listened to her story and I was blown away. And I had to like message her and hear her story again. And I felt, oh no, I can't enjoy this story alone. I need to bring her here to tell her story. And I assure you, you'll be blown away hearing her story, and it will motivate and inspire you. Like, I took a lot of notes and made a to-do list based on some of the things she shared with me, and it's valuable, very valuable information. And maybe a bit of a background about, okay, I'll start, this is 6:05. So we'll start now, just some housekeeping. We'll all remain muted, or otherwise we are unmuted to speak, but we'll take questions in the chat box. So let's just remain muted, not to interrupt the speaker when she's speaking. A recording will be made available on YouTube and it will be shared to, we'll send link to our YouTube channel. Those that shared our emails with us, you also get emails containing the YouTube channel. Without much ado, I'll just go straight to introduce our speaker for today. So her name is Anita Smith, and let me just briefly tell you about her background. So aside from having a bachelor's degree in hospitality management, she has a strong background in managing back-end processes in the hospitality industry. During the pandemic, Anita decided to diversify her industry exposure by utilizing her experience in Salesforce and process improvement in a new way. And then she realized she had a true passion for Salesforce, and so she went into the Salesforce ecosystem. This has also motivated her to join in numerous Salesforce community and enjoying her current leadership role in the Talent Stacker Salesforce Career Development Program. So in that program, she helps the members of the program or the members of the Salesforce community to better understand Salesforce and also obtain relevant certification in the Salesforce ecosystem. Join me in welcoming Anita this evening. You can just show some love in the chat box. Welcoming Anita. Good evening, Anita. Nice to have you here. It's evening here in Halifax. Good day, everyone, wherever you're connecting from in the world. So I don't want to tell your story. I think I've started telling it, but please, can you just tell us a bit more about yourself? I kind of summarized your profile, but tell us more about yourself.
Sure. Before I start, is everyone here business analysts or getting into business analysts and then focusing or thinking about becoming a Salesforce business analyst? Is that?
Okay, so a little background about our community. So we are, most of us are new in Canada. Most of us are newcomers in Canada, and we are trying to adapt to our environment, change careers, something that works better for us. And most of us have been trained in generic business analysis, not product focused, not Salesforce, not ServiceNow, just to become a business analyst and work in anywhere, in any industry. I currently work in the education industry as a business analyst and project manager. some of my colleagues here are also analysts in some roles in organizations. Harry too here is a senior business analyst. So it's more of a community of aspiring business analysts, those that are already in business analysis careers and want to get better, and those that are looking to get a business analysis job.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, I highly recommend Salesforce, specializing in Salesforce. I've been approached so many times since I landed my job for other Salesforce business analysts. It seems to be like a huge hole and not enough people available. So, all right, I'll start talking about where I came from. So about a year ago, well, a little over a year. So last March, when the pandemic really started affecting hotel businesses, I was working at a hotel, a very large one that was connected to the convention center, and it was not fun. As I was working as a revenue manager. So basically doing pricing, working with groups, and groups just started canceling one after the other and the other. And at the time I realized, I'm like, oh, I'm probably going to get laid off soon. So a little bit, like maybe 2 weeks after that, majority of us at the hotel were furloughed, which I had no idea what that term meant until then. And I actually was finally laid off in October of 2020. But rewind back, at the time, I didn't know what Salesforce was. I was trying to be proactive, like you, trying to figure out what can I do next. So I jumped from different learning sites, from Coursera, LinkedIn Learning, and then stumbled upon Salesforce. I think I looked up, best companies to work for, and they showed up. And then at first I was like, I don't want to do sales. Obviously, I didn't know what Salesforce was. For those of you, if you're not familiar with it, it's basically on the very base level of CRM. It's a tool that allows a company to just do everything and be really efficient. So I had actually stumbled on their free training site, Trailhead. This is one that Salesforce.com created. I did it for a day and I was like, oh, this seems easy. But then I was just like, I don't know anyone who does this. I don't even know how I would transition, or if it's even possible coming from a hospitality background, zero IT experience. So I kind of blew it off. Then a couple of months later, I was listening to a podcast, Choose FI. It's a personal finance podcast. And that's where I initially heard about Bradley Rice and his free 5-day challenge. And he made it seem so easy, just transition to Salesforce with zero background or experience. So I tried the challenge, really enjoyed it. And I was like, okay, got a lot out of it. And this was the free version. So I ended up paying for the paid program. That was beginning of October. And from October to about a month later, I completed this trail mix on Trailhead to prepare me for the exam, and I passed the exam first try. And then November, December, kind of took that time off. I did get a volunteer project and worked on that for a bit, but it was the holidays, so I wasn't really trying hard to apply for jobs. But January is when I actually started applying. I initially got a job with a consulting company, but it was very small and it was freelance. So I only get paid when I worked, and it wasn't that much. But soon after that, using all the tools and knowledge I learned from Bradley's course, I was able to brand myself really well on LinkedIn. And I actually had the owner of a partner consulting firm reach out to me for a job, which I was not even on my radar. At this point, I never thought about becoming a business analyst. I was just looking for a Salesforce administrator role. And I saw the job posting he posted. It was for someone with 5 years experience. So one, I had no experience as a BA and no experience in Salesforce, or very minimal, a couple of months just learning. But I was able to showcase my transferable skills. That combining with, I feel like I got lucky. They were just starting out a project. They really, really needed someone with good people skills, good soft skills to just smooth everything over. And I got along really well with the CEO, and then the client. I had interviewed with the clients as well, and they liked me. So that happened in a matter of days. I believe like the owner reached out to me that Wednesday or Thursday, and by the next Monday, I was starting day one with this new company.
Okay, you know what? You have to pause at that point because you're giving out lots of information. I don't know if everybody got it, but please, I hope you are taking notes and learning. So I'll take you back a bit. You mentioned Trailhead, you mentioned Bradley Rice's program, and you mentioned Coursera LinkedIn Learning. And that tells me you were hungry for knowledge and you went around learning and looking for where to learn and improve yourself. And for me, that is a very key skill for a business analyst. You are a lifelong learner. You need to go out. You need to be proactive about learning, right? You don't need anybody to tell you to go learn something. You go out there and get those information. Yes. Can you tell us more about Bradley's program? You mentioned there was a 5-day challenge and then there was also a paid program. And again, how do you feel about investing in yourself to get all this knowledge?
Yeah, sure. Like totally worth it. At the time before joining the paid program, I was like, I'm unemployed. Can I really be spending this much money on something when I like don't have a job? But after I landed my job, I realized, well, that was dumb because I just doubled my salary from what I was doing before. So the 5-day challenge, it's really great because it goes straight from the beginning from like someone who doesn't even know what Salesforce is. You can start it. It's a series of emails, just one each day. Each thing takes maybe like 15 minutes, but I think it's been a while, but I believe like the first email tells you how to set up your Trailhead account and like what trail mix to study, because when you go on Trailhead for the first time, it's a bit overwhelming. There's just so many modules and a lot of information. Just that's a general thing in Salesforce. There is just so much information out there. You get like overwhelmed. You just don't know where to start. So this 5-day challenge, it's really great. It's not only like Trailhead, it also like gives you really good LinkedIn tips. And I think branding yourself well on LinkedIn is key to at least getting an interview and getting companies to notice you. That like building your personal brand is huge.
Okay, so Bradley didn't only teach you how to go learn on Trailhead, he also taught you how to brand yourself on LinkedIn.
Yep. Yeah, I think for the paid program, I mean, a lot of the programs out there right now, they try to like help you train and learn to pass the exam. I feel like his program, the best value is once you get certified, because there's all these mock interviews, there's stuff on LinkedIn branding, just so many tools to use to actually land the job, which I think a lot of programs miss out on.
Interesting. So the 5-day challenge is a free program where it teaches you how to start up on Trailhead. So you mentioned Trailhead. Can you tell our audience more what Trailhead is about? I'm going to do my personal research, but I know it may be a new terminology for people here.
Yeah, so Trailhead is this learning website that Salesforce, the company, created, and it's completely free. Anyone can join and sign up for an account. And honestly, like it's the best, one of the best free learning sites I've ever used. I was very impressed, and I couldn't believe it was free because not only does it breaks it down and kind of explains everything so simple, but also it gives you access to these things called playgrounds. So it kind of like you get to play around in an actual Salesforce org. It's not like a full org, but it's a more simplified version that you can apply what you learn in each module. And they have a way to check it to see if you did it correctly. And and anything you ever want to learn, like I will probably use it the rest of my career. It's probably the first place I go to if I don't know how to do anything. I'll search to see if there is a module that like shows me how to do that particular thing.
Interesting. So you also talked about you saw a job posting that required 5 years experience, and you were like, oh no, I'm not going to apply for that job because I don't even have up to 5 years experience. And eventually you got the job because you have transferable skills you could kind of demonstrate on the job. Can you, because I get this kind of questions a lot from trainees when they complete the training and they start looking for a job, and they're like, oh, all the jobs out there are looking for those with 5 years experience, 7 years experience. Can you, do you have tips or share your experience with that and how people can kind of overcome that challenge in applying for jobs?
Yeah, and like I didn't really believe it when Bradley first said it. He said a lot of companies, they'll like post jobs and ask people like have like at least 2 years experience or whatnot. But as you're going through the job applications, a lot of them, you'll see a pattern. You'll see a lot of them are probably just copy and pasted. And if you actually go into an interview, that they don't even know what they're looking for, because for someone with 2 years experience, it's probably most likely outside of their budget. They don't even know like what the pay or salary is for someone with that kind of experience. So just apply for those. Don't let it stop you from applying to jobs if they're asking for so much experience, because job descriptions, they're wish lists. I mean, they're not going to find anyone that like, I mean, they may find someone that like checks all the boxes, but they might not be able to afford them. So definitely just the ones that say 2 years, just ignore that part, apply for those. Anything that says junior in front of it, that's pretty much entry level.
Yeah, I love that part. Like, sincerely, I applied for a job in 2018, and every year at the same time of the year, that job posting comes out and it's the same thing. Nothing has been changed in that job posting. And so I encourage people to ignore the number of years. Do you meet some of the requirements? Yes. You could even be the best. Like maybe every other applicant don't even know half of what you know. Just go in there and demonstrate your knowledge and get a job. So I thank you for sharing that part again. You also mentioned you had to do some volunteering. Okay, no, before I ask the question around volunteering, what were your practical strategies to learn Salesforce? Because it was something new, something you had never done before. And I'm asking that question because some of us here are new BAs from nothing business background, nothing, they've not heard of project management or business analysis before. It's a new terrain. And you were also faced with the same challenge. What practical strategies did you use to study, to write your certifications exam, to land a new job?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly use mostly Trailhead to learn everything. I did, through the program, we had study groups set up. So I joined some study groups, and which we just quizzed each other using Focus on Force. It's another website that they sell like practice exams you can use, but they also have like section quizzes within those practice exams. So that's how I studied for the test. But honestly, Trailhead is really, really well done. They also, Salesforce themselves, they also offer a free certification days webinar. So it is about 5 or 6 hours. I think they happen maybe once or twice a month. I know they've been filling up fast, so you have to sign up ahead of time. But that kind of really put everything together for me, because when I was working on Trailhead, I was just doing stuff and I was just following directions. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm learning anything, but you are. It doesn't feel like it, but eventually you realize, oh, okay, I did learn stuff because I know where to find this stuff in the org now. But the certification days, they really put everything together. They gave you a lot of like acronyms and tools to memorize to help you pass the exam. And I highly recommend taking that class right before you take the exam.
You mean the Salesforce certification webinar?
Yeah. And this is a free one. not the paid one. This is free. And at the end of the webinar, they usually give you a coupon code for the exam because the exam's normally $200. I think the coupon codes are only $40 now. They used to be like 70 and 100. You might be able to just Google to see if there are any better codes out there.
Interesting. So please, you can drop, if you have questions for Anita, kindly drop it in the chat box, and then we can read it out for Anita to respond to. Another question I had was, so you mentioned you volunteered after you did the training. So what strategies did you adopt also during the volunteering to make sure you were able to put into practice the things you learned, and also to learn, because the idea of the volunteering was also to get practical experience.
Yep.
So what was your mindset? What strategies did you adopt going into that volunteering engagement?
So I actually worked on 2 volunteer projects. First one, I actually found when the owner reached out to me after saying I got my certification. That one really, I didn't do too much because it was a startup and it was very early on. So all I got to do was gather requirements, which is an important part. It's an important part to learn how to do well. But after that, I actually got put on a volunteer project through Bradley's program. And I worked with there's a team of 4 of us, and we were implementing Salesforce from the ground up. So we got to do everything like build all the fields, the automations, just organizing everything. And that was where I learned the most. If I had done that before I took my exam, that would have been enough. I would have learned everything I needed to know. Like getting real hands-on experience is just, it's so much better than just practicing on Trailhead.
Yeah, and also studying.
Yeah. Because you're actually doing it. You like remember, because you spend hours trying to like fix the dumbest things. We spent like, I think me and my teammates spent like half a day figuring out why one of the dashboards wasn't like showing up in color, and we like Googled so much and like could not figure it out. Finally, we reached out to the Salesforce Ohana. There's a group on Slack, and we asked someone, and someone like an actual Salesforce MVP replied back with the answer. It was like, oh, thank you. We've been on this like all day.
But I'm sure that the stress of thinking through, trying to find the solution was all the learning you needed. Like that alone, you had to stretch yourself, think through the problem, try really hands-on. It just builds that skills inside of you.
Yes.
Yeah, I have some comments I quickly want to take. So I don't have any BA work in my prior jobs. How could I get experience?
I mean, I didn't have any BA experience either. Honestly, so far, I know being a BA in different companies, it's always a little different. So far, it feels more like project management, just that plus having Salesforce knowledge for my current role. So just being able to explain, maybe projects you've worked on before, or explain like, working on teams is a big thing. Like being able to get along with everyone, being able to understand and solve problems. And like, if you ever had a situation with like a bad coworker or whatnot, like, and just like how you overcame that and how you made it work out. I feel like relationships sometimes matters a little bit more, or it makes the job easier in my experience. But yeah, you just got to find a way to relate your past experience to a business analyst.
And in addition to that, I could also say maybe you could look out, try getting training, the business analysis training. If you already have a Salesforce background, right? There are free courses on LinkedIn, that LinkedIn Learning you could start out with. You could also look out for paid trainings that would train you and also help you get hands-on experience like Anita mentioned. I hope that answered that question.
Yeah, and also there is a really good trail on Trailhead for Salesforce business analysts. It's only I think a couple hours, but it does a really good job explaining it.
Oh, on Trailhead too.
Mhm.
So you have core business analysis training.
Yeah, it's Salesforce business analysis. It mostly goes through the process and the differences between that and an admin, but there are a lot of really good tips that I actually used in my current role.
Interesting. Let me see if we have any other question. After how many months of studying were you confident enough to get into the job market?
So I got my certification beginning of November and I started in January. Confident enough? You're probably always gonna have imposter syndrome. That doesn't really go away. I mean, I don't know. I haven't really met many people who haven't had imposter syndrome. Not really so much confidence, more of I needed to work to pay the bills because I didn't have a job. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think you'll ever, maybe after a volunteer project, but you're always going to have doubts. There is a lot to know in Salesforce, and it is impossible to know. Like even if you're in the ecosystem 10, 15 years, you're not going to know everything. And as soon as you accept that, then you will feel a little bit more comfortable applying for jobs.
Yeah,
I hope that helps.
You never learn it all especially when you're just studying, like really on the job helps you get all the experience, helps you learn and grow, not all the experience. Like your work could just be in a particular area and you're limited to just that area, right? But one thing I would say that has helped me also in my career, it may not be for somebody that's starting out new. If you just have a lifelong learner mindset, nothing is impossible. Nothing is just impossible. Anything you hear, you need to go to Google. Is your best friend. I heard Anita mention she just goes to Google to search. Google.
Don't say that in interviews. That will like make it sound.
Sure, definitely you wouldn't say that in the interviews. Like you just need to have the lifelong learner mindset, and anything new, go online and get that knowledge.
Yeah, Google is your best friend. I think that's like the best skill I have is being able to Google well.
Okay, so that's a skill.
Yes.
Share that, please. It's a very important tool. Like, okay, so in part of our training, we do workshops, and then sometimes we ask our trainees to do some stuff, and they come back asking for templates. And I'm like, have you tried going online to search for sample templates? Because you have loads of them out there.
Yep.
On the job, there'll always be something new, and you just need to go out there and look for that information.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah, it's all out there. Like I didn't know what Jira was, but I had to use it. So I Googled top 10 tips or top like whatever of Jira and figured it out.
Yeah. I think there's a comment here again. The more I learn of what a business analyst really does, the more I realize that I've been pretty much a BA for years. I started Sales Cloud for work a little over 2 years ago, and now I'm admin certified, and I'm looking to really join what I've done before with what I want to be. That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there was something Anita mentioned that struck me, like you have some transferable skill. You may have been doing some business analysis work in your prior role, but because the job title wasn't business analysis or a business analyst doesn't mean you didn't do business analysis work. And basically what they are asking in the job posting is not your job title. They're asking if you can demonstrate some certain skills. And that is what is important. We just need to have that at the back of our mind. Do we have more questions for Anita? Also, in answering Tracy's Tracy's question about getting experience. So if you go online on LinkedIn Learning, for example, and do some trainings, And they usually give out some workbook. What I also recommend is even on your current job, you can identify some business analysis work and get going. It may not be part of your normal day-to-day work. For example, you could decide to identify your process, model your process, analyze your process, and look for opportunities for improvement. Those are also opportunities to get experience, if you ask me.
Yeah. Process improvement. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
So if you've done any sort of process improvement for your current job, it sounds like BA work to me.
So we have more questions here for Anita. And thanks, Harry, for sharing the Trailhead link for those that don't know about Trailhead. And Anita is going to also share some free resources with us after the show today. So there's another question here, Anita. How do you get visibility on LinkedIn? What strategies did you use?
I used some of the tips that was in the free 5-day challenge, which I sent a link. I think the biggest thing I did that helped me the most was following and researching people who are already like really big influencers on LinkedIn. Not only Salesforce people, but in general too. Jordan Nelson, he has done an amazing job. He's a Salesforce admin, and he's done a really good job branding himself. Taylor Offer, he is not Salesforce, but he's just big influencer on LinkedIn. So I go to their page and I'll go through their past history, their past posts and comments, and see like what they're doing and what's like really working. So I do that. Also, an easy fix you can do for your LinkedIn is to help like with the SEO, the search optimization is, I'll give you this freebie. You can change your LinkedIn URL. I changed mine to, I believe, Anita-Salesforce or Salesforce-Anita. But if you're looking for a BA job, you can put your name -business analyst, and that'll help companies find you faster. And also like having what you want to be or what job you're looking for in your title will help you like pop up in their searches as well.
Great tips there. Thank you. She also asked question. I hope we got that. Yeah, thank you. So she also mentioned how tips around networking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, we're all remote at home, so networking is a little different. I used to be terrible at it because I'm an introvert. I don't like to talk to people, but it's a little easier online. So all my networking is done through LinkedIn, commenting on people's posts and doing it all the time, and making like not just simple, and I do this a lot, congratulations or well done, like actual like a sentence or two or a paragraph, commenting something with meat. It makes a big difference, and then people will start noticing you, and then they'll comment back, and you just start building this relationship, and then you can message each other back and forth. But that's just how I've been building my Salesforce network, commenting on their LinkedIn posts and then reaching out. It's always a good idea to, because I've always said yes every time someone's done this to me. Just ask for like 15 minutes video chat. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. But that's a great way to build your network. I mean, don't be afraid if they're gonna say no, whatever, they say no. But like if they say yes, I mean, they just gave you like 15 minutes of their time, and you can ask them like anything you want. It's just a good way to build relationships.
Yeah, I'll just kind of reiterate that. So look for influencers on LinkedIn, follow them, review what they've done, try to learn what they are doing, see what they are doing, and try to take it 1 or 2 cues from that. Also try changing, you don't just walk past their post, you comment, like not just like, you actually comment, post a sentence or two to also get them to notice you. And if you can, ask for a 15-minute chat just to put a face to the name, I guess. Yeah. Also try changing your LinkedIn URL. you can replace it with the job title you are looking for. Also in your LinkedIn profile where you describe yourself, also put the job title of, put the title of the job or the industry you hope to work in. And I actually agree with that because that has worked a lot for me. I get people reaching out to me to become an ERP business analyst because my prior experience was managing ERP. I've done a couple of ERP implementations, but really that is not where I'm looking at, but I still get a lot of direct messages from recruiters on LinkedIn asking if I was interested in an ERP, a business analyst ERP. So it does really work. I can testify to that. Any more questions for Anita? So Anita, just to wrap up today's discussion. So I'm an aspiring business analyst and I'm interested. I've listened to you. I'm blown away. I want to start a Salesforce business analysis career. Can you just tell like 3 steps, the first 3 steps I need to take right now from where I am?
Open up your Trailhead account, sign up. There's currently no Salesforce BA certification. So you're gonna have to go and get your Salesforce Administrator certification. There is a trail mix called Prepare for your Salesforce Administrator credential. That's the one you wanna start studying so you can get ready and pass the exam and then get certified. I know this is 3, but I'm gonna go more. Try to find volunteer experience because you will learn a lot, and also it'll help during interviews because a lot of people are like, oh, you have no experience. Why should I hire you? There's a bunch of sites out there. I think Volunteer Match, Catch Fire. When I tried not very hard on those, I didn't really hear back. If you're having trouble finding a volunteer opportunity, I would go local and reach out to any nonprofits in your area because the NPSP, the nonprofit Salesforce org, is free for I think up to 10 users. So you can just like approach a local nonprofit like, hey, how would you like for me to make like your business like more efficient or help you guys with this, this, and this. And then that's kind of a good way to like create your own opportunity. Or you can join Bradley's program. But yeah, just getting certified is a major step in the process. Once you get certified and then you start branding yourself well, it helps tremendously. Like it just gives you such a big edge when someone goes onto your LinkedIn profile and like you've showcased yourself, you've filled out all the sections, you use the featured section and everything, like everything put together makes you look like a star candidate. And like someone goes to your profile and like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to hire them.
Yeah. Your LinkedIn has sold, you has marketed your product. So the next thing, the recruiters are reaching out to you.
Yeah.
So do you also think getting the Salesforce admin certification and also getting maybe an entry-level business analysis certification would kind of improve my chances of getting the Salesforce business analysis job?
I don't think it would hurt. I mean, it's another way to showcase like, hey, I'm certified in Salesforce and business analysis, especially if they're like questioning you about that. So, oh, sorry, that's my dog. I don't think it'll hurt. I just know a lot of consultancies, like partner consultancies, they don't care too much about certifications outside of Salesforce because they get points for every employee that has like a certification. There's a whole crazy point system, but they'll get more points for different levels of Salesforce certifications. But maybe like an actual company where you're the sole Salesforce business analyst, they would probably care more about that. But the consulting firms probably won't care about certifications outside of Salesforce.
Okay. So by the consultants, you mean probably by the Salesforce partners, they kind of help organizations implement Salesforce. Yep. Is that what they actually do?
Yeah, implement Salesforce or just like maintain it. I this past year, I guess like more and more companies have been turning to consultants because it's just cheaper than hiring like a full-time Salesforce administrator, because you got like benefits and everything you have to pay for. But if you like hire someone from a consultancy, you know, you can only ask for like a certain amount of hours or like project based, you know, you don't have, it's just overall cheaper for them, I think.
Yeah. So I would, let me just recap the steps you need to take if you want to go into Salesforce to get the certification. And Trailhead is a very good place to start off from. And then once you do that, you write the exams and also look for volunteering opportunities.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or you could just sign up for the free 5-day challenge and it'll put everything like nice and easy for you too.
Oh, yes. Thank you very much, Anita. Do we have any other question? Looking at the chat box, I don't see any more questions. Can we just show some love to Anita for spending her evening with us and blessing us with a lot of information this evening? And I hope you've been blown away like I assured you at the beginning of this presentation. Anita, I just want to say a very big thank you on behalf of the community here. And thank you for sharing all these your experiences, your story, and also the links you've shared with us, the resources you've shared with us. We really appreciate your time. And we hope you can come again some other time and maybe talk to us more about branding on LinkedIn, or maybe how to navigate Trailhead or something.
Yeah, of course I would love to. Thank you so much for having me. I was like, oh, you guys want me to speak? Okay.
Oh, yes. And you can see all the messages in the chat. I'm sure everyone enjoyed the session and is taking something back.
Oh, thank you guys. Really appreciate all the love. Feel free to add me on LinkedIn. I accept everyone.
Do you want to share your LinkedIn, your LinkedIn profile here? If you don't, I can do that.
Okay.
Here.
Yeah.
For those that are interested, can they all turn on their video so we could just take a picture?
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Video on. So we can send that to Anita and we can also keep a copy.
Yeah. Please, can you just turn on your videos for a quick selfie? Thank you. Yeah, and that's Anita's LinkedIn, a link to her profile. You can invite her, you can join her network. Thank you. Any other person? Not shy, not camera shy.
Another person?
Lots of camera shy people this evening.
Okay, so.
Hi, Ify, I see you. Hi, Seda. Hi, Kemi.
Okay, so I'm gonna go now.
Say cheese.
Done. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for spending your evening with us. I hope Anita has added value to your lives and you take some of her tips and put it to use immediately. Thank you, Anita.
All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Anita. Good to have you.
Thank you.